Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Richard. This is my channel, and I'm going through a list of philosophical questions. Today's question is, what is kindness? I am, of course, having alcohol because my alcohol supply has been growing for years, and I need to use it up. Plus, alcohol will remove my inhibitions and make me more honest. Just to be clear, people are not honest when they're drunk. They just have no filter. There is a difference between being honest and having no filter. Small amounts of alcohol let your guard down. Large amounts of alcohol make you stupid. Now, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean then pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. Now, what is kindness? Kindness is the act of doing something for another party without expecting anything in return. My old man gave me a car. It was a car in very bad shape physically. It was ugly, and it was all beat up, and there were stains on the interior, but it was fairly new. This appears to be kindness. It stopped being kindness when he wanted something in return. And what he wanted in return kept getting to be bigger and bigger and bigger, until finally I just gave the car back. I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. This can here, it's going to go into my recycling bin where I will box it up, send it to a nun, and then this nun will take this can, trade it in for money, and use that money for nunly things. Primarily, she will be using the money to feed orphans, which is a nunly thing. I will never see these orphans. I will never receive anything in return. I will get as much for this can as I would have if I threw it in the garbage. That's kindness. It's completely selfless. But then you might even argue that it's not selfless because I'm doing it to make myself feel better. It's a funny world we live in. But I mean, it's like, I remember there was one time I was using a bathroom or a restroom. Restroom is where you defecate and urinate. A bathroom is where you bathe. So I was using the restroom at a college, and the janitor came in, and I said, I just want you to know, I appreciate what you do. I like having a clean place to use the restroom. I think this was kindness. Didn't do anything for me, and I was telling him the truth. We should appreciate the people in our lives, even the people that do small things for us, like clean our bathrooms, because, it is really not fun to go to a putrid toilet that's covered in disgusting excrement and have to use it. So, yeah. But then there are acts of kindness that are controversial. For example, there was a Russian soldier who stepped on a landmine. We have video of this. And I think the funny thing about the video was he was wearing Adidas sneakers, not boots. Wrong pipe. And he's on the ground bleeding there, and we don't know what he said, but one of his other soldiers, another Russian, comes up and shoots him. And you have to ask yourself, was this kindness? We don't know. If that soldier had said, look, I just got hit in the balls, and, I'm a burden to my family, I realize I'm going to die, put me out of my misery, and the guy shot him, you could consider this kindness. But then you could also turn around and say, had he gotten to a field hospital, maybe he would have lived. Maybe he never would have been able to have children, but maybe he would have lived. We don't know. But this is one of those things about kindness. I mean, I remember my old man gave my sister a dog, and my sister therefore made that dog my brother's problem. And at the end of its life, I believe it was poisoned, and the old dog couldn't stand up anymore, was crapping all over itself, and they put it down, Is this kindness? Is it kindness to put an animal out of its misery, or was that selfishness? Perhaps we should have let the animal die of its own accord. I mean, didn't appear to be in pain, but certainly wasn't having a good time of it. And I'll say this much. My brother would not have washed the dog to get the crap off of it every day. So what kind of a life is it living in your own excrement? But I don't know. I don't know. It's not something I personally would ever want to do again. And I believe the experience has made my brother swear off dogs for the rest of his life. But I wouldn't know. So there's that question. What is kindness? Is there an objective act of kindness? I think there is. I remember I once gave a gold coin to a child for no particular reason. I think the child was happy. I get nothing for it. That's kindness. I guess kindness is a little easier to define than I want to, but this went to a dark place pretty quickly. Any case, one could say that to be kind is not merely the act of not causing misery, but the act of bringing joy. This is a poor definition because what about a drug dealer? Drugs bring joy, but they bring pain. That's one of those things about drugs, is that they can make people very happy. They can also make them very, very sad. And, that's one of those things about drug dealing. And a drug dealer could think of himself as someone who brings joy, but that joy comes with pain. All right? So, the act of kindness is an act that removes suffering from the world or increases its overall level of joy. That's kindness. If you do something that causes you joy but others pain, this is not kindness. If you do something that causes you joy but will cause you pain, this is not kindness. Kindness is the act of relieving suffering or causing joy. Anyway, that's my take on the subject. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard. Danger Ducky says it would be sweet as a cupcake if you would comment, like, and subscribe.